The school uses a mobile device management system called Meraki to ensure appropriate content on devices while they're being used in school. Now Apple sets the age limits basically for various apps, and we just apply the appropriate age limit across the year group. We don't get hung up in the detail of the precise age of the individual students within a year group, but we just apply the kind of average age across the whole year group. Any apps which are age inappropriate, it hides, so it's not deleting any apps. If you've paid for apps, you've not lost them. And I'll show you, if you want, how to remove the restrictions. So it does restrict things which might be useful to pupils, like FaceTime, but we don't want them using FaceTime while they're in school anyway, so that's the reasoning behind it. So it's all controlled in settings. So first of all, in settings, I'm in the general tab over at the left hand side, and down the bottom of this general, you can see this device management part. So that's Meraki management, and if you want to remove it, so I'm telling this to the parents rather than the pupils. A lot of the pupils will actually work it out for themselves, but if you click that remove management there, then it will remove the profile from the device. If you want to remove the restrictions at home. When they come back into school though, in order to connect to our school Wi-Fi, they need to have those restrictions in place, so they need to reinstall. They can do that at home before they come back in, and the instructions for that have been posted in Schoology for the pupils, or they can do it first thing when they come in to school, but they won't connect to school Wi-Fi without that. What sort of things do we do? Well, if I go up one here to the screen time, you can see what Apple allows us in terms of restrictions. There are various things that you can do here, just looking at how much your child is using their iPad, if you have concerns about that. So you can schedule time where the iPad isn't available. You can schedule limits for individual apps, if you're more worried about that, and so on. But the main one that Meraki enforces here is content and privacy restrictions. So if I switch these on, and you see here it's saying, tell me at the top, this device is also restricted by device management. So basically you can do things like not allow them to purchase apps, right? Not allow them to delete apps. So if you want to control what apps they have on their device, you can control that. You can, looking at content restrictions, you can use ratings. You can do things like switch off explicit. Now, no system here is perfect, but whatever protection you can be useful. So you can add age appropriate, so standard UK ratings for films, for instance. You can, the usual PG 12, 15, 18, etc. So you can alter. Now it does require the apps at the other end are being responsible. So if you're using the bigger apps, they generally will be responsible and enforce these restrictions. So there's various things, looking at games within multiplayer games, where they can have lots of friends or through their games and so on. So Meraki doesn't apply some of those restrictions. It will always go with the stricter of the restrictions. So you have your own restrictions, and they are stricter than the schools. Then when they're in school, they'll still go by your restrictions. If it's the other way around, if you've got some restrictions, but the school version is stricter, then it will apply the school one unless you've removed that Meraki profile. So that's a quick introduction to Meraki. You can get in touch if you've got any more questions about that.